Hi, Paul Hefty here with the Triangle Football System. I want to talk about our Triangle O structure for youth level, grades 3 through 8, where we'll talk about our no huddle Penn State University H-back offense. Let's take a look. All right, first let's look at the evolution of the offense, why, what, and how real quick. This is something that's based around Joe Moorhead, who was the offensive coordinator at Penn State from 2016 to 2017, and currently the offensive coordinator at University of Oregon now. Number one goal here is we want to evolve quality concepts and evolve the learning so that it's simplified. Why we're doing this, again, as I mentioned, it's a version of Joe Moorhead's where they had great success 2016 to 2018. It's simple, it's sound, it adapts easy to all levels, high school and youth. And what I love is it's a blitz beater focus, meaning we can create explosive plays naturally with the core offense. What we're doing is we're using H-back sets and some of Penn State's terminology and alignments, which I'll show. We'll use a new split zone, which is an inside zone concept, but we'll keep some of our old core concepts, which is outside stretch zone that we've run previously. How we're doing this, we'll chunk all of the context plays and calls and cues together into one, and then we'll use this foundation of inside zone and outside zone to kind of scaffold and build the offense into multiple schemes based off of those two. So the O-line only has one blocking rule. We'll do a covered, uncovered rule. That'll help simplify using, again, as our foundation, just split zone, inside zone, and stretch zone, outside zone. All right, so this is how we make complex simple, is we have what we call blocking families, and everything revolves around that. We're just going to focus on zone blocking families here, as I mentioned, split zone and stretch zone. Then you can see the RPO routes that are attached with that. We use a Penn State bubble, and then we'll use a Mickey with the outside. And then you have themes for communication. So we'll use NHL with split zone and NCAA theme with outside run. As we get into pass protection, if you can evolve that at the different levels, then we use one protection. It's a half-man slide protection, which is very similar to inside zone. And we'll use our four verts as our foundation concept there. Again, theme is Major League Baseball. And then we can use our stretch zone blocking to use our sprint protection. This is an example of scaffolding using previous techniques for other concepts. And again, we'll use minor league baseball then for sprint. All right, next, this is how we install this, because teaching is everything. I always say it's not what you do, but how you do it. So what we want to do is a 3x3 install. What this does is it allows us to compartmentalize the learning for the players. So phase one is where we just take that one run blocking family, which is zone here, and go ahead and just work our RPOs for the first third of practice. Then we're just going to go ahead and use the pass phases. Again, we'll use overlapping concepts. An example would be using stretch zone blocking for the line. They simply would stay on the line of scrimmage when we turn this into a sprint out pass. And then third phase, we would go ahead and now mix like a game situation and see if we can actually pull off running both of those at the same time. All right, for communication, this is an important concept with the whole system. Saying nothing means something. So use something as your foundation where you don't have to say anything at all. Example would be is if we want to go on the first go of our regular cadence, we don't have to say anything. So that means we're going to go ahead and go on the first go. Cadence is real simple. We're going to say set, where the quarterback actually does a long single clap at the same time to give a visual to the skill players. Everybody will get set then. Again, we would have our center over the ball, needs to be solid. Our guards are going to go ahead and get in a 3-point stance, but our tackles will stay in 2-point stances. And then the quarterback says ready, gets his hands up in a triangle ready to catch the snap, and then go and we snap the ball and we're off. So it would be set, ready, go. You can watch the video here and it'll show our 9th grade doing that. We can do a freeze cadence, which is when your team's doing double cadences. The advantage of this is we do a dummy cadence and it actually shows what the defense is going to do, and then we would call the play and actually run our real cadence. Again, all we use here is any cold country, cold land, so Iceland, for example, Finland, those type of things. Greenland. You go ahead, the signal is just both hands over the biceps like you're freezing. Quarterback now is going to go set, ready, and then instead of saying go, we'd say freeze. And then we'll get the play. And then again, if we don't say anything, we're just into our regular long cadence of set, ready, go. We can get into these more advanced ones as you get older. We like to shift from a pistol with the 7th and 8th grade. When we do that, shifting to the sidecar for the play, we can actually freeze and stay in the pistol and run a couple of our core RPOs and go on what we do a short cadence, where we're just going to go set, go. Next is, which you're going to use at the younger levels, is being able to use a long cadence on 2, and the cue word there is just Tuesday or Thursday. And the sign for the OC is just a double backhanded peace sign pointing inward, doing the backhand. That means we're going on 2. So now the cadence is going to be set, ready, go, and we're off. When we want to do quarterback sneaks, we do silent sneaks, where we're going to wedge block. So Wednesday is the call. And if you ever wanted to just go with no cadence, just a silent snap by the center to the quarterback, that's Monday for mute. Some additional no-huddle mechanics and signals. If you do want to huddle, and I recommend you have this in there, you can just simply bunch. You just line up a yard behind the ball. Same thing, the offensive line with their back, but there's no structure to it, and you just go ahead and use your no-huddle terminology, so it doesn't matter if the defense hears it. What you're going to use more often is just huddle, or go no huddle, and do what's called a look and see. This is where the offensive coordinator is going to put both pointers on both eyes, and that just tells the offensive players to stop looking at them for the play and to look at the defense and recognize that. We can also do the freeze, as we mentioned, to use the double cadence. Another one I love to do, which is great at the youth level, and in practice in particular, is do a go-go. Is you just ran a play. If you give the basketball traveling signal, that means go-go, which is the verbal cue the quarterback would give, meaning you're going to do exactly the same formation, same play, same cadence again. So when you get on a roll, you can go really fast and just keep repeating successful plays. An alert is real important here at the youth level with the RPOs. What we're going to want to do, when in doubt, the quarterback is going to go ahead and give the ball on all RPOs. But if we feel like we have access to throw the ball, we can give the quarterback a go-ahead to think pass now first. And this is just called an alert signal, where the OC is simply going to put one pointer on the side of the eye, alerting them to that there is access to throw, and you're kind of giving them a green light to do that. Last, any of the NASCAR 911, all that means is 911 means we're going 2-minute offense really fast. How we stack this, again, you can use the bunch to get started with your communication, but I would argue you want to go right into no huddle and use that look and see and alert using your different, just going on 1 and mixing up every now and then as we go to the next one where you go on 2 or use the freeze cadence. Next then is the go-go tempo. Great for practice. You just always run a go-go after you run a play, so you get repeats and you get extra reps. And then last, if you just say 911, that means we're going 2-minute offense. All right, here's the sets real quick. For 3rd and 4th grade, you're just going to use 2 formations. You're going to use this duo right, which is a 2x2, and this is what you're going to want to teach everything out of. You can see we're going to go ahead and give a directional signal, meaning you're just going to go ahead and put up a peace sign. But if you want it to go to the right as the diagram shows, then the OC must signal with his opposite hand, which is the left hand. So it's as the players see it, it'll be their right. You'll get this down. It'll be awkward at first, but since we're using a limited number of formations and plays, you can be real simple and deliberate in your signaling. So again, the rule is real simple. This is a 5-yard rule, meaning the A and the Z are going to go towards the call, and the A is going to split 5 yards from the tackle, and the Z is going to be 5 yards from the A. The H and the X will always align away from the call. Again, 5-yard rule, the X will align 5 yards from the tackle. But anytime you have an O on the formation call, like do O, that tells the H he's going to line up in a 2-point stance where he's going to be behind the tackle with his inside leg over the outside leg of the tackle, and then 2 feet behind that offensive tackle. We'll set the quarterback also at the 5-yard rule, 5 yards from the quarterback, parallel stance. And then the running back will always go away from the H-back. And now he's going to actually line up so that his heels are on the toes of the quarterback in front of him at around 4.5 yards in the guard tackle gap. Real simple. Duo, right, peace sign with the left hand for the signal OC. Here's a diagram of it, a visual Penn State. Here's a duo right. As you get older, we can spread them out. We can actually put the A on the hash, the Z would go on the numbers, and the X on the numbers. Again, you can adjust this to your strength of your quarterback's arm, but we start with the 5-yard rule. We also have the ability to do all the formations with the quarterback under center. We don't have to be a purist and be in the gun. That's something that you're not comfortable with, especially at the youth level. All we do here is add a Yukon call as a prefix to the formation call. Signal is real simple. You just put your thumbs together with the pointers up, making the letter U, and then you go ahead and use your normal formation signal. Example here would be a Yukon duo right. So we give our Yukon U signal and then left-handed peace sign. All the quarterback does now then is give the verbal to make sure that the center understands he's going under. So it's Yukon, Yukon, shifts under center, and the B-back then shifts from the sidecar, so he'll be directly behind the quarterback, still with his heels at 4.5 yards. Simple adjustment. If you want to squeeze them down, then you simply go ahead and do your duo right, but then you would have your hand squeezing inward, and that would just put everybody with a 1-yard split of that receiver nearest them, the Z and the X. If we go to 3x1, this is what's great about this, is only one person moves with the rule, and that's the H. So we go trio right, the H is going to go towards the call now. Again, since it's trio with the O on the end, he's off and over the tackle. The A and the Z are still using their 5-yard rule towards the call. The X would go away, 5-yard rule, and now the back would be on the opposite side of the H in the trio set. So we have nice balance here. Easy, one person adjusts. Here's a diagram of Penn State in a trio left. All right, ace here is something we don't want to use until 5th and 6th or 7th and 8th grade, but it's very simple. All we do is we move the H back up to the line of scrimmage as close as he can. He still needs to have his toes behind the heel of that left tackle, but we're going to have him have a 1-foot split also as the rest of the linemen, but now he's going to get as close as he can. The reason you would do this is twofold. Number one, this is great against when you start adding pin and pull sweep, because he's going to go pin down on that defensive end and get into him right away, or using it when you know he's going to release for a pass route. So again, just something you can add as we go up levels. Real simple. It's still just ace right, and it's just the pointer. So all the receivers would take their same rules. You can see here now, this is what we ultimately want to get to, where we align on landmarks with our A on the hash, our Z and an X on the numbers. But again, 3rd and 4th graders will start with that 5-yard rule to keep it real simple. We also then can start to add this spread call, and all we do with ace is go ahead and take that pointer and now put it way out to the side, spread it out. What the spread call means is we're going to flex that H to a wide receiver, and he just simply splits the difference now between the X in that offensive tackle or the A in that offensive tackle if he's to the 3 receiver side. So again, this is just a spread referring to the H-back. Again, I would not use this with the 3rd and 4th grade level. All right, then same rule when we go 3 by 1 with our ace and our trips is the H is the only one that moves over. Again, with trips, with the signal now versus trio being the thumb, the pointer, and the pinky is upwards. That's our trips call. That moves the H up so his toes are just behind the heel of the tackle and he's got a 1-foot split. If we say trio, remember anything with an O on the end, then the H is off and over the tackle. And that's the OK sign with your 3 fingers up. All right, if you do want to get into additional sets, you can do this with a line where you want to get a 2-back set and put the H in the backfield. This is just going to be ahead. Your fist is upward. Again, doesn't change any rules, you can see. And then you can also get into a wing T, which we call just a right formation. Zebra because the Z comes in as a true tight end, and now you have your wing. H goes to the fullback. All right, good start, simple, really 2 formations, duo and trio, and you're ready to go. At the end, you want to do a review. You should know these terms, duo and trio. What does look and see mean? Again, we want to look at the defense, see what they're doing versus looking at the play caller. Freeze is a double cadence. Go-go means we're going to repeat the exact same formation, play, and cadence that we just did. And alert tells us an RPO really becomes a PRO, meaning we're going to think pass first, run second in our option read.